Hello, Potato, and welcome to Weekend Magic. It is that loveliest time of the weekend, the beginning of it, Saturday morning. The next 2 days are out ahead of us to do with as we please, or at least as we have to do and can't do during the work week. So last week I said that this week would be Disney free. And while I'm not a man of my word, I am in this particular situation because there is no Disney in this week's episode. Nothing even tangentially Disney. No Star Wars, no Marvel, no Disney. Instead, we have 4 items that are not Disney. Indeed, 3 of them aren't even from, big companies. So let's get into them. The first thing is the one thing that is from a big company, and that is these Animal Crossing pins. I picked this up at Box Lunch. They were $19.90, so $20 for 4 pins. Obviously not Mickey pinbacks, but they do have the Nintendo seal of quality, so you got that going for us, which is nice. And in this set, we get an item leaf, an unidentified fossil, a bag of bells, and a DIY recipe card, because this is from the newest version of Animal Crossing: New Horizons for the Nintendo Switch. Animal Crossing is kind of like one of the major reasons I buy Nintendo systems now. Some people it's like Metroid or Zelda. It's Animal Crossing. I got a DS partly on the fact that they said they were making Animal Crossing for that. It was one of the first games I got for the GameCube when I got that. It was part of the reason I got a Wii, was for Animal Crossing. It's just a fun little game, and I played the app version. It's not as good. I mean, because it's a freemium app. What do you expect? But these are nice, and they will have to go in with all the other pins, just kind of maybe in a separate area because they're not Disney. Our next item came in this black padded envelope, which isn't sealed, which is kind of nice because I can then reuse that for something maybe. It was in another envelope. It didn't actually come in the post like this. There's no mailing label on this. And in that black envelope is something that fell out of the bag that it's supposed to be in. Is this bag. And here, this coin. Guess we'll just do the reveal that way. And I mentioned before on the SAC anime swap meet video a month or so ago, that I do like collecting tokens. And I guess I'm kind of getting back into that. Because remember, I picked up the Silver Shamrock token at that show. And this one came out, I think, last year, kind of like during the height of the end of the world. But it was like $60. It was on the Shop Dan Bell website, much like all those key tags from Another Day Room I bought last year. And it was like $50 or $60. It's like, that's really nice. I do really want that, but I can't justify that price. And then a couple months ago, they knocked the price down to $20. And I'm like, okay, $20. I can justify $20 because, I'm supporting a YouTube creator. I'm not going to say a fellow YouTube creator, and indeed he probably would take offense to even be called a YouTube creator. He's a documentarian or a filmmaker who just happens to post stuff on YouTube because it gets him a bigger audience. But I do want to support him because I'm actually, I actually do support him on Patreon and listen to his podcast and the videos he puts on there, which is frankly at this point more videos, if maybe a little less polished, than he does on YouTube. He hasn't put up anything on YouTube in a while now, including anything from this series, because of course when you film things like dirty hotel rooms and shopping malls and there's a reason to not be going out in public, probably kind of hard to get a lot of footage. But this is a very, very big chunky token. I'm not going to take it out of the plastic case because I don't want to smudge it up with my fingerprints, but it's nicely cast. It says Dead Mall Series on one side, game token, fun money, but don't try putting this in your local Pac-Man machine. And the back side says Dead Mall Series, picture of a dead mall, and Dan Bell's name. It's a nice little collectible to remember it by when someday it's all over, or indeed he finally makes it as big as he really should be anyways. Alright, our final 2 items are a little bigger, so we've had to go to a wider shop for that. And the first item is this. The Faceless Old Woman Who Secretly Lives in Your Home by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Craner. This is a Welcome to Night Vale novel, if you can't see the top there. Welcome to Night Vale, of course, is a long-running podcast, which has kind of transcended being a podcast to being a kind of a much bigger thing. I'm sure we'll have a TV series or a film in the next few years of that, unless for some reason it implodes. And this is the 3rd novel in their novel series. If you look actually back there, the second one's on the shelf. I'm not sure where my copy of the first one is, otherwise it probably would be there as well. And this is, as you might have guessed from the sticker on the front, a signed copy. It was the last one they had at my local half-price books, and so I picked it up. because I didn't want to leave half-price books empty-handed. And here are, yep, there's our signature page. Has been specially bound by the publisher. So I think Alice Isn't Dead, or certainly I think I know of a couple books that way, where the signature is like a sticker that they just kind of stuck into the inside cover. This one actually has a page bound in. I'm guessing it was bound in after the fact. But who cares? It's a signature. I can just imagine these two people sitting there, signing page after page after page. That's got to be tiring. But I guess, price of fame, right? Now, I'm not as excited about this one as I was the first two. I did actually read the first two novels. This one, not so much, just because it's not set in modern-day Night Vale. I enjoyed Night Vale in its current setting. And the first two novels feature a lot of the characters from the podcast. And I'm guessing this one's not going to, because it's supposed to be an origin story for the faceless old woman who secretly lives in your home, who is, as the name implies, a woman with no face, who is old, and lives in your home without your knowledge. Although she goes on the radio a lot and talks about it, so you do kind of know she's there. But this book is supposed to follow her back, like, to her origins, like medieval Europe kind of origins. So I'm thinking we're not going to see a lot of Cecil and the gang from modern-day Night Vale in it. Which, I'm sure it'll still be fine. I'm sure it'll still be a good book. It's just, I'm kind of invested in the town. If you've never listened, go check it out. It's available wherever you get podcasts. There are like literally hundreds of episodes of it to listen to, so, it'll take you a while. It'll keep you busy. But basically, Night Vale is a small desert town, which is kind of Lake Wobegon by way of Lovecraft. I think that's a good way to put it. The podcast, of course, is a show from Night Vale Community Radio, hosted by Cecil, and this book, of course, is not. But I've got it. It's here now. And our last item is from another YouTuber, Stuart Ashen, of course, of the channel Ashens. If you're not familiar with him, it's basically like a much, much better version of what I do. And he's been doing it for longer, and he's better educated and funnier and has a nicer voice. And it's just a much higher kind of quality of what I'm trying to do here. If you want to see how it's done right, go check out Ashens. He's been doing it for like years, and there's lots of content there. But over the last decade, he's put out a couple of films, and earlier this year, put out the ability to order this limited edition, numbered, signed collector's set of the two films and a third documentary making of film on region-free Blu-ray. And of course, I bought it. Weirdly, well, there's my hello. And I have number 2626. I have no idea how many were made. I think it depends on how many were ordered. But that's my number. And on the back we have signatures of Mr. Ashen himself, Linton Davies, and I have no idea who that is. Now, weirdly, shipping this, because of course, and on top, not to 3 Sad Onions. If you don't watch his channel, he likes to, looking at like toys and stuff, looks at the little thing on the back that says, choking hazard, and he calls them sad onions, because let's face it, they do kind of look like sad onions. Now, the weird thing is, ordering this from the UK was shipping. So you could order it, you could have it shipped in one piece for like 15 extra bucks, or you could have it shipped in 2 different packages for $7. So twice as much work shipping it, but it costs half as much. And of course that's what I did, because it's $7. I can buy a blind box for that. Not a Disney one, but a blind box. So each one came with this little card stuck on the package. Hello! Remember, this package is arriving in 2 parts. And yep, that's what we have. All 3 films, all 2 films, and the making of documentary. There they are. Obviously, you can see it's been a few years between this film and this film. And of course, now he has his head shaved. Because he, unlike myself, he shows himself on camera fairly frequently. Which I don't, because he's much better looking than I am. Alright, back in there you go. Yep, obviously I haven't watched them yet. They're still in the plastic wrap. I still need to watch them. But I've got them, and again, it's supporting a YouTuber. And I've always bought like the Binging with Babbage stuff and the Barry Lewis stuff, and of course all those Dan Bell keychains. So I thought, why not support another person? I mean, I could join his Patreon and probably get access to extra videos and stuff, but instead I've bought his films. But that's it for this week. There's our 4 items. Again, no Disney. This was a Disney-free week. Next week, we'll be back to Disney. I think probably all Disney. But for this week, we can take a Disney-free breath. So if you found this all interesting or entertaining, if you did, please give the video a like and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And I'll see you in the next video.